Dear son, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to inform you that I am leaving far from here on an expedition. Unfortunately, I cannot provide a location. I know this may come as a surprise to you, but please understand that this decision was not an easy one. If in a year you do not receive a letter from me, it means that I have not returned. I hope that this will not happen, but if I still do not get in touch, then I have a request of you. In the attached letter, there is a list with species of moths. Come to my house and catch at least one of each species, and then let them out of the house. But it is better if you free them all. I don't need to go back. On the contrary, mate, I think we need to go very, very far back. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a little game called Moth House, I think this is called, which was described to me as a horror game about catching moths, which I thought was such a ridiculous combination of items I couldn't possibly avoid having a look at it. So, there's also mice, excellent. We can catch some of those as well. Press Control to crouch. Oh, goodness, you're actually teaching me the controls by making me do them. I like that, I approve of that. Oh, crouching is also a toggle thing. It's not an on-off thing. What is that? Is that a moth? It looks like a bale of hay with a butthole, but never mind. I presume that's not what it is, because they are not common, and moths are. So, eat a packet of stamps. Delicious! Alright, I have no idea what that was. Oh, goodness, I have a net. Do I have anything else? No, I just have a net. I can net things. Excellent. This is how I'm going to be collecting my moths, one presumes. See, this appears to be a bowl of cereal. By a real brand, but, well, by a real production company, but not production company. You know what I mean. By a real company, but not a real brand. Most mysterious. Or some moths here. May I have this moth, please? Yes. Use tab to open backpack. Can I see my list? Possibly, yes. Right, okay, so there's a number of different moths that I can get. I don't know which one I've just got. I would presume it's the one on the upper left, far left of the top row. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. It seems like I've already managed to catch a number of others without realising it. Can I just literally wander around catching moths willy-nilly? Can I catch these ones? Yeah, I seem to be able to. They seem to be going. We're not doing this to like fumigate the place. We're not doing this to like get rid of the insects because we want to put them outside afterwards. So why exactly are we doing this? Why not just open a window, for crying out loud, and turn the lights off? That would surely work after a couple of hours. All right, now have many moths. All right, okay. I'm gonna put. Wow, we've got 46 American dagger moths. Why is it called an American dagger? America's a bit too young to use daggers. But never mind. It doesn't matter. We'll just keep on looking for more moths. See, now that is definitely a picture of a moth with enormous bunny rabbit ears. But okay, bit weird. What do we have here? Some sort of Geiger counter? Moths emit ultrasound as a way of communicating with other moths and detecting their environment. This ultrasound is typically measured in kilohertz, with the average values around 30 to 60. The moths produce ultrasound by vibrating special organs in its body called tables. Interestingly, there are devices called bat detectors that can capture these ultrasounds, which can help in monitoring moth populations and their behaviour. This is because bats, which are natural predators of moths, also use the ultrasound to locate their prey. Isn't that interesting? Right then, I'm going to set my fingers on fire in a second, but never mind. I don't know if I have a limited number of matches. I would presume that I do. It sounds like there's something in here. Can I get my thing prepared for stuff? Yes, indeed. So there's these big moths that go around, and then there's just lots of little moths that fly around all over the show that I can actually grab. So, excuse me, Mr. Nature. Or Mrs. Nature, presumably, judging by the whole mother thing. Again with this goose. Well, this links into something I meant to say earlier but totally forgot to say, is that this is by a very good developer called Ken Forest, I think their name is. They've made quite a few games that we've played on the channel. We've always enjoyed them, and they always involve a goose. Indeed. Yeah, I should have remembered there would be a goose in here somewhere to look out for it. Alright, I'm glad we've had our goose quota filled for the day. But, okay, dear. I'm wondering what exactly is the purpose of catching all the moths? Because I know the letter said it would be better to do that, but what do I actually achieve if I get that? Like different endings, or do I get some sort of reward in the end? Cook what? No recipes? No kidding, mate. I didn't come in here to intern as Gordon Ramsay. I came in here to act as a crowbar. Okay, as a bug disposal expert or a bug relocationologist, I suppose. Can I use my crowbar in here? Presumably. Okay then. Oh, we didn't read this note, did we? I do apologize. The lunar moth is a large, beautiful moth native to Northern America. It is named after the Roman goddess of the moon because of its pale green colour and its crescent-shaped markings on its wings. The lunar moth is known for its short adult lifespan of only about a week, during which it does not eat or have a mouth. I think that's also true of the crane fly, if I remember correctly. Not that that was particularly interesting, but we're reading trivia, so I might as well check a bit more out. The wingspan of the lunar moth can reach up to 11 centimetres, making it one of the largest moths in North America. The caterpillars of this species are also quite striking, with bright green bodies and long, spiny tails. The lunar moths are primarily active at night, hence the name. Alright then, it's a good thing we came here at night. I think generally all moths are nocturnal, which never makes an awful lot of sense to me. Press F2 light or put it on match. Oh, so I can sort of manually do that on my own, can I? Kitty on, look how competent this game is being by cobwebs, don't worry. Sorry, I thought it was somebody sitting on top of the bookcase for some bizarre reason, some sort of demon creature. Yes, I like how competent this game is being. Oh, yes, it's a horror game. I can probably get killed in it. I wasn't expecting to get killed by a moth, however. Is he letting out all of my moths from my bag? Fiddlesticks. No, I have been put in a cocoon. I didn't expect that. He didn't let any of my moths go. Okay, I've still got plenty of moths. Time to catch more moths, I suppose. I am going to need a whole canister to carry these little critters in. But alright, I suppose I'll keep collecting moths for a while. Okay, was that like a scripted thing? Was that supposed to happen, or was that just like a random thing that that I just happened to die because I was too busy yammering on about the fact that I like the way this game is teaching its controls by actually making you do them, and also by doing it one at a time instead of just dumping a load of information on a screen at the beginning of the game and expecting you to remember it all. So I approve of that. Games that are well tailored to my stupidity get the big thumbs up from me. Right then. I don't even know if I can actually access all of these moths because I forgot about them. Because yeah, there's they're all over the ceiling as well. Man alive! I don't feel like this is a viable population, right? You know when you study like the growth rates of animal populations, it's like a minimal viable population, obviously, where you got like enough like a sufficient genetic pool, but then you also get too many in a closed environment where there isn't enough space for them anymore, and there isn't enough to feed them, and there isn't enough living space, and then they all start dying. I think we're kind of reaching that second bit here. Alright, fine. I've got plenty of moths. Get it. This doesn't seem very ethical to keep this. Oh dear, I've gotten stuck on something. This doesn't seem very ethical to keep this many moths in such a tiny container. I feel like it's a little cruel, and they deserve a bit more space than this. I should have brought with me more than just a little jar. Alright. Oh, giddy up. What moths have I not found species of yet? The bottom two rows, mostly, and one or two others, but that's about it. I have 273 American dagger moths. I love that I'm counting them one at a time as I go through. I don't think I'd be that bothered, personally. I think I would just sort of grab them and go. Okay, presumably I need to turn... I was going to say turn the light off. What I mean is put the match out when I think that the big moth maniac monster is going to cause him problems. Sorry, if you're wondering what's going on, I was going to say behind the camera. Actually, it's directly in front of the camera. It's just below the camera, in fact. There is a small mischievous cat that has decided to come and sit on the desk. And we're both just kind of eyeing each other up, trying to figure out what the other one's going to do. She's also blocking about 40% of the screen, which is making it very difficult for me to actually play this game. But never mind. Yes, I'm talking about you. Right then, Kitty on. Was that a new one? I feel like we probably haven't had that one before. I feel like that one made a different sort of a noise. But yeah, moths are attracted to light, of course. So perhaps... need a key for this though. Perhaps if I switch my match off, by which I mean blow it out, then I can use that in order to become sneaky and stealthilicious, because he won't... Mothman won't eat my face, because he won't even be able to see my face. But let me grab some more of these. Okay, that's a nice picture. That's quite cute, actually. I don't see him. I don't see him, no place. That's not so nice of an image. That looks like a couple of centipedes, or millipedes, or whatever they're called, crawling out of one's butt. I don't like that. I don't think the moth likes it either. Okay then. Never mind any of that. What does this say? Yes, this one. It's a species of moth found in Southeast Asia, Australia, and parts of Africa. It is known for its distinctive appearance with brightly coloured hind wings that are covered in long, fluffy hair-like structures. Is this the thing we've just seen a picture of? If so, I've just insulted its biology. I thought it was some sort of horrific horror image, but no, I think it was just a real picture. Oh dear. These are used by the male moths to release pheromones that attract the females for mating. The moth is also notable for its ability to vary its size and shape in response to environmental and social factors, which may play a role in the mate selection and competition. That's nice to know. Alright. Your guess is as good as mine. I've been murdered again. Well, actually, I haven't been murdered even once yet, because this moth appears to be something of a pacifist. Certainly I'm going through a car wash. Yes. Hello again, I'm back here. So you can't die in this game? You can't die? You can just sort of, suck enormously at it, which, you know, sort of my specialty. Yeah, I don't really want to hear about special sucking, but never mind any of that rubbish. Let's move very swiftly on and try going someplace else that we haven't been before. He says, ending up in exactly the same place as he was before. The problem is I keep standing around when I really oughtn't to be. Well, I put the light out for all the good it did me. I can't tell whether this is difficult or easy, because on the one hand I think it's easy because you don't lose any progress, at least to the best of my knowledge, when you screw everything up. But on the other hand, it seems quite difficult because I'm not entirely sure how to get away from this creature. Maybe I should be making better use of this. Yes, perhaps this will alert me when Mothman is present. Or Moth Mate, perhaps I should call him. Oh no, this is going back the way that we came. I was wondering why this place looked different. I've gone the wrong way. I've made a module of my geography, and now I'm going to fail all my GCSEs. But never mind, that isn't the point. The point is that sorry, the cat is trying to sit in my lap, which is the thing that she's taken to doing recently, and it makes it rather difficult to play these games, but never mind, mainly because I can't reach half the buttons on the keyboard because her bum is in the way. But never mind any of that. Let's not go that way, actually. That's the way we've been the last couple of times. Let's try going this way instead. Okay, I can hear it. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. So I think turning the light off is necessary. It just also requires that you are vaguely stealthy and not stupid. Which, you know, very difficult for me, but I'll do my best. Okay, is he coming back or not? I have no idea. There's a shiny thing here. Save recipe. Ooh, you don't say. Can I go and cook something? Please tell me I'm not cooking it with moth meat. I don't really want moth meat. If I'm completely frank. Please tell me this is just a stain and not blood all over the floor. I really don't know. There's some more jars here, which I feel like we should use in order to segregate the different bits of moth that we've got in our single jar, because oh, there you are. I knew you were somewhere. I just couldn't quite find you. Yeah, it feels cruel to keep them all in the same bottle, particularly if they're species that eat each other. I don't know if there are any species of moth that eat each other, but there probably are. I'm not really sure, to be completely honest. Can I look at my recipes or anything? Seemingly not. Seemingly not. Where was the kitchen? That was just over here, I think, somewhere. Here we are. Can I do a bit of cooking? Yes, yes, it requires. It requires moths. Right, we're having boiled moth stew for dinner. Why do I want this exactly? I mean, eating it would have been weird, but at least it would have made some semblance of sense, in the sense of, you know, it's like you're making some food and then you're eating it, even if it's made of disgusting stuff. But, you know, I'm not one to criticise foreign cuisine. You know, at the same time, I'm a bit confused. Like, what exactly do I want this for? What purpose is this meant to serve? Oh dear, do I need this? Like, is this like a quest item? Is this going to be required somewhere? Or is this like a component in getting a different ending? If you become the maker of moth food. Alright, let me turn this out while we read this, for the sake of not attracting that guy over here. Oh, gosh. The Death's Head Hawk Moth. Now, this sounds like something that would eat another moth. Is a large and distinctive moth that is found in various parts of the world, including Europe, Asia, and Africa. It gets its name from the skull-shaped pattern on its thorax, which resembles a human skull and has been long associated with death and the supernatural. The moth has a wingspan of 13 centimeters and is primarily brown in color with yellow or orange stripes on its abdomen. If only we could actually see color in this game, but never mind. I don't know if there are any here, because it's rather difficult to discern between the various different species, if that's not slightly racist of me to say. So you will pardon me if I just kind of grab a good handful of them and then check my inventorium. Do I have the Death Head one? I can't even see it. Yeah, I have 9 of them apparently. Good. Didn't even realise. And now we're going to go up to another floor. Alright. Grab a few more on the way, just in case there's any unique ones here. I'm hoping those notes will always be there to tell me when there's a new or a special species that I should be bothered about. I'm going to stand by this light for a second. I want to have a quick look at the old Geiger counter of doom. There we are. Now, is this getting higher in response to them? Potentially, yes. Because I saw that it spiked massively when we when the big Mothman was going. Oh no, that was a receipt, wasn't it? It was a recipe, even if I couldn't speak. Yeah, I saw that it spiked when Mothman went down the stairs towards the basement. That's the word I'm looking for and not finding today. What does this one say? It says that there's a demon behind us. The comet moth is known as the Madagascar moon butterfly. That's a much nicer name, to be quite frank. It is a species of moth native to Madagascar. No points for guessing that in advance. It is known for its distinctive appearance with large pale yellow wings and long, broad tails, reminiscent of a comet's tail. The comet butterfly is considered one of the largest silk butterflies in the world, with its wingspan reaching 20 centimeters. An adult butterfly cannot feed and only lives for 4 to 5 days. Seems a bit of a trend, doesn't it? Although not considered a serious pest, the comet is highly prized for its beauty and is often sorted by collectors. Yeah. Note to self. Turn around before you set fire to small pieces of wood that attract demonous moths. It's quite a specific no, but it will come in very, very handy in this place. Oh, that actually, yeah. Alright, did we actually... We didn't get any comet moths, did we? No, they're down there. Oh no, we've actually got 14 of them already. I don't have to worry about them. What do I need? A white witch moth. Is that the only one I haven't got one of? Yes. I've only got one of the Cytheronia regalis. They've got Latin names, alright? I'm not good with Latin. Shock horror, I'm barely good with English. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Let's see if we can get back up there, because that seems like there was more interesting things to be seen and experienced. So I want to try and get back up into the roof of the building. Oh yeah, because this is locked, isn't it? This still needs a key. Let me have a look at that other recipe that I got. Oh, I can't continue to make more things. Oh, alright. Do I need to do something with this? Can I put it somewhere? Like put it down on a table and eat it? You know, like some sort of crazy person. Maybe eat it while watching television of the Goose Show. Alright. I presume this soup is necessary for something? I hope it's necessary for something. Otherwise I'm going to get in trouble for melting moths when it wasn't necessary. Kitty on. I think that's the way we went last time. Let's try again this way this time. I think he's after me. I think it's safe to say that he is in pursuit of me. Alright, let me go this way. And we're just looking for these white witch ones, which are very white indeed. And presumably of a decent size, so I'm not too worried about missing them. Should be relatively obvious. I think he's coming from that angle, so I'm just going to stand here and turn this off for a second. Just let him pass. There we go. See what else we can find in this enormous mansion. This enormous moth mansion. What does this say? Is this another recipe? Yes, it is. So, if I use the soup that I've made, can I, like, go and make another one later? Or do I, like, pick one that I like, and then that's just it? Like, my fate is sealed at that point. I don't know. Let's learn some more things about moths. The white and black witch moth, also known as the giant owl moth, is a species of moth found in parts of North, Central and South America. So it's basically found all over the entire American continent. You could have just said that, but never mind. It is known for its large size. They all seem to be known for their large size. They're only small ones. With a wingspan that can reach up to 30 centimeters and a distinctive black and white coloration. The caterpillars of this species are also quite striking, with bright green and yellow stripes along their bodies. The white and black moth are primarily active at night and feed on the nectar of flowers. Isn't that nice? That probably means there's going to be some right here. Probably these very big ones. Let's just grab a whole heckin' load of them and see what comes out in the wash. Might just turn that off before we get in trouble. Oh yes, there's trouble. Did we get any? No. We got 12 of the black ones, but we've none of the white ones yet. Alrighty then. Kitty out. I don't remember the letter from the father word for word, but I don't remember him saying anything about cooking these poor creatures. Right. Again, I feel like we should just open a window and let the poor things go. Like these windows, I'm sure would do fine. Okay, here's another recipe. I thought it would be on a note, but no. Okay, so there's another staircase down there. I still haven't found any of these white ones. This is most confusing. I need to actually like study the image. So it's kind of wide, not tall. Is a slightly offensive thing to say, I'm sure. But I'm not going that way. But it's the plain and honest truth of the matter. Scary looking creatures. Oh goodness. That's even a scarier looking picture down there with a little paperclip. Hi Paul. It turns out lingua moths have many abilities besides speaking human language. They are capable of something which has been scrubbed out, so I have to report that I'm not sure I'll be back from there, but in the name of science, I have to check it out. I'm growing types of moths in the basement. I hope that while away, the house will not rot from the large number of different moths, just in case I'll block the entrance if something happens. I left the key to the attic in the library. Oh, is that the locked door that I'm trying to get through? Because that's the only thing we found that has a key in it. Maybe that's where the white ones are? Maybe it's necessary for me to do that rather than being thoroughly optional. No, that's right, I don't think he's over there. Hello again. That's a much more attractive one, I must say, compared to all the scary ones we've seen recently. Here's another recipe. I keep thinking these are things that they're not. Let me, no, I don't want the soup, for crying out loud. Let me just keep this Geiger counter out for the sake of wandering around. Because until we actually find one of these white ones, then there's not a lot of point in getting overly fussed about it. No, we've read that one previously. Don't need to repeat the Wikipedia pages. Okay, so we're looking for a library for the sake of the key. And we're looking for these white moths for the sake of goodness knows what. And we're looking for a usage for the soup. Brilliant. Oh gosh, it's getting really high. Where is he? Where is he? You little Mothman maniac. Kitty on is darker than that. Well, it's even higher here. Kitty on. Okay, there we go. It's gone back down a bit. All right, give me a moment. I shall see what I can. I shall see what I can MacGyver out of this. The Geiger counter has practically exploded, but in terms of its number. But this would appear to be what we need. Hello, man in very well ironed suit. What does this say? This is Mason Hart, famous moth collector, has won Nobel Prize in Biology for his discovery of the lingua moth. Oh, lingua, language. Fun. Didn't catch that before, but never mind. A new species of moth that can speak human language. The lingua moth's ability to communicate in English has revolutionized the field of biology and opened up new possibilities for communication with other species. Mr. Hart's dedication to and passion for moth collecting and research has resulted in this groundbreaking discovery, and his work has been recognized as one of the most significant contributions to biology in recent history. Really? I think it would probably just cause a riot, frankly, if people realised we could speak to animals. But, alright, we've got our little key. Are these the white ones I need? Maybe. Let's take them anyway, just in case. Now, all of you, I don't do things by halves, my friend. There we go. Hooray! We've 20 of them. Excellent. Okay, so now we've just got to get downstairs. Not the soup. Now we've just got to get downstairs to where that locked door is and try the key and see what's on the other side. Maybe a bowl and a spoon. My soup. Goodness, only nice. This is one of the most bizarre games I've ever played in my life, and I've played quite a few. But, alright. This developer always does have unique ideas, should we say, for their games. But this one's probably the most unique, at least of the ones I've seen. Mind you, the one with the sleigh that you pulled along, and then the massive frozen anglerfish that tried to eat you that we played donkeys years ago. That was quite a unique one as well, now that I think about it. And the silly thing is, actually, is if I died, we'd be better off, because I'd know where the door was in relation to where I spawn. But, I actually have no idea where it is. Oh, we haven't been here before. What do we have here? Another note. I am in a truly astonishing discovery. Mason Hart, well-known moth collector, has discovered a new species of moth that can speak human languages. Mr. Hart, who has been collecting and studying moths for many years, made the discovery while collecting moths in the Amazon rainforest. The moth, which is a unique wing pattern and body structure, was observed by Mr. Hart communicating in English. This incredible discovery has sent shockwaves throughout the scientific community, and probably the whole world, to be quite frank, and has opened up new possibilities. Yes, you said this before. He's named the species lingua moth and has pledged to continue studying and protecting this remarkable insect. Indeed, what's with the spookalicious eyeball? I don't know, but there's a plant down there, which is the first living thing we've seen other than myself, which isn't a moth. So it makes a bit of a change. Get out. I can hear him. I cannot see him, but I can hear him, and he can probably hear me as well. I don't think moths are deaf. Oh, giddy aunt. They're certainly not blind, I'll say that for them. So what's the story behind the big, I was going to say big killer moth. It's not a big killer moth, it's a big transporting moth. This moth that seems to have adopted a job of being a removal man. What's all that about? Where exactly did that one come from? Presumably that all links in with the story that they're trying to tell with the lingual moth and all the rest of it. So, I think it's up this way. Yes, here we are. Can I use the key on here? Insert key. Yes, please. Hello? Something up there, I'm not sure what it is. Oh, good afternoon. How are you today? Please don't. Please don't. I need that for later. Please. Oh. Hello, human. I am the Moth King's helper. You see, the king can't speak like a human, unlike me. Oh, that's why I had a picture of an eye on it, because it has a... Right, I know the human language, and I can also translate from the language of moths. That's very kind of you. Our master has disappeared from this house, and the Moth King is hungry. He's already tired of eating little moths flying past him. Once he almost ate... Oh, is this what he needs soup for? He needs to be fed urgently with normal food. He needs soup, moth soup. There are many types of moths, and if you mix them properly, they'll make a great soup. I kind of already have done this, but don't ask why. Thanks, but one pot of soup isn't enough for a king. Make additional soup. Alright. Also, I don't know if the king liked this soup, so it would be better if you make soup from other ingredients. I have got to stop drinking. Like, seriously. This is not good for me. Okay then, time to make more moth soup. I could also make this one, I suppose. I have the ingredients. Does that use up all of anything? No, I think we've still got at least one of all. Are there like different endings where you're like, in one you're a slave to the Moth King, and in the other one, kitty, and in the other one you just run the hell away and leave? Thank you. 2 pots of soup is not enough. Make another pot of soup. I think that will be enough. Okay, fine. I mean, it's not fine. Frankly, it's a bit weird, but never mind. I don't have enough ingredients for this one. I can make this one, because sort of one of everything. Alright, I have this one then. This is a bit like a pound cake, but moth soup recipe version. Kitty yards. Here, eat this and be quiet. Thank you for feeding the Moth King. He says that your soups were terrible, and he would have been better off starving. I don't want to do this, but I have to follow King's orders. The Moth King says, you've killed moths for nothing to make those awful soups, and he wishes to drive you to hell, moth hell, even. Which is a terrible place for moths, but not only moths get there, but people too. For example, our owner got there. On this, we will have to part. I'm sorry, but there is no choice, so goodbye. I mean, there is. I'm getting the hell out of here. Post haste. Oh. Oh, I've been cocooned again, only slightly more competently than the last 5 times it happened. Okay. Alright. That was quite possibly the weirdest game I've ever played in my life. Okay. I don't know if this is multiple endings. I don't know if you can just collect moths and then leave if you don't go nosing around in the attic. I'm kind of curious to see what that's like, though, so I'm going to... Kitty, you didn't need to do that. I'm going to quickly replay the game and collect up one of each moth again and see if we can just leave and see what that does. See whether there's any opportunity to do that rather than just getting sent into Mothalicious Purgatory. Right, well, in the intermediary period, I have been sitting here wondering about how exactly do game developers get inspiration for doing crackpot things like this exactly. Where exactly does the idea of a king of the moths, a moth that could speak English, and a load of moth soup, where exactly does those ideas come from? Exactly how crazy do you have to be to come up with ideas like this? I don't know. That's one of the unanswerable questions about the indie game market, but never mind. I believe, unless I'm horribly mistaken, that we've got one of every type of moth, including 323. No, so that's not even the biggest number, the 481 of the American dagger moths, which I think are often the small, light-coloured ones that sort of float around the middle of the screen rather than collecting around a wall or a light or something like that. But never mind. It don't matter, because we've now got one of every moth type, which means we can probably just catapult ourselves out the front door and leave this crazy place and never, ever, 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 ever come back ever again. And frankly, I might just target this weapon with a small missile, and let this house burn to the ground. Frankly, which I know it's a bit mean to all the moths in there, but at least it gets rid of the big moth. That's the big problem. Oh, you can leave. Okay, so there are multiple endings then. Oh, it's a tape. I thought it was a manhole cover. Yes, I think it's a tape. Like one of those old cine camera reels, rather than anything more modern. Oh, it's the top of the jar, isn't it? And I'm letting the moths out. Duh. Yeah. I'm not very competent. Okay, so yeah. It's as you'd expect. It's not all that extraordinary, I suppose. Well then, never mind. That was very strange. That was very, very, very strange. I mean, nice to find something to go in the Weird Games playlist, because that playlist gets a bit neglected from time to time. So, hooray for that. I don't honestly know what to say. What can you say about many moths and their king and its translating subject? Never mind. That was very strange, but very enjoyable, as ever, very professionally put together. And very, very bizarre, but quite enjoyable in its own mysterious way. So, I do find myself wondering if there might possibly be a third ending if you pick the right combinations of soups to give to the king. Maybe he rewards you with a landed title and, I don't know, makes you prime minister or something. I don't know, whatever it is that kings are supposed to do with their afternoons these days. I don't know, but thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'll have to scratch my head for a while, so thank you and good night.